The Mull of Galloway Lighthouse sits on Scotland's most southerly point. It's just one of over 200 lighthouses that have been built around the country's 6,000 miles of coastline. The lighthouse was built by Scottish designer and engineer Robert Stevenson and was completed in 1830 at a cost of around £9,000. The Stevensons were renowned for their lighthouses, and for over 150 years designed many of those we see around the coast today. Robert Stevenson's biggest achievement, as seen by many, was the Bell Rock Lighthouse off the coast of Angus, which was built between 1807 and 1810. The Mull of Galloway Lighthouse stands at 26 metres or 85 feet high and is 99 metres or just shy of 325 feet, above sea level. Its light, which is accessed by around 114 steps up the tower, was first lit on the night of Friday 26 March 1830, and the light was to be known as the intermittent light to mariners, suddenly appearing like a star of the first magnitude. It was to stay on for 2.5 minutes, then eclipsed for 30 seconds. In November 1875, this sequence was changed to periods of 30 seconds of light and 15 seconds of eclipse. The lamp was lit with paraffin, with the prisms magnifying the light to the equivalent of 29,000 candles. In 1971, electric reached the lighthouse, and the light became a sealed beam light, and today is powered by LED marine lanterns, flashing every 20 seconds. It was once manned by the principal keeper and his 2 assistants, with their families living with them. To supplement their diet, they grew their own vegetables in a walled garden next to the structure, keeping chickens, sheep, and a horse for carting provisions up to the lighthouse from the boat landing. The garden was abandoned in 1988 when the lighthouse was automated, but it's now being used by the community. The keepers also found ways to pass the time through hobbies. One keeper, Thomas Middlemas, who enjoyed gardening and birdwatching, had an unusual pet. One morning, while cleaning the lantern, he discovered a hawfinch, a rare bird in Scotland, with damaged wings. He nursed it back to health, and it lived out its life in captivity quite happily with the keeper. Mail was delivered by boat, then bicycle, until 1935, when the first motor van in the area was introduced, visiting the lighthouse on its rounds. It was a tough and sometimes lonely life. The light had to be maintained at all times, with one of the keepers sitting in the light room to make sure it flashed correctly during the night. Their days were taken up with maintenance, such as painting, cleaning and tidying. Today, the lighthouse is operated remotely from Edinburgh, but is monitored 24 hours a day. Once a year, technicians from the Northern Lighthouse Board, who operate all of Scotland's lighthouses, visit the site to carry out maintenance. In the 1890s, a fog siren was installed, with 2 blasts heard every 3 minutes. In 1920, this changed to 2 blasts every 90 seconds. The foghorn at the Mull of Galloway is still there, although it wasn't used in many years, but was restored in the 2010s and is sounded on special occasions. All foghorns around the Scottish coast have been turned off, with the last one being switched off at Skerryvore in October 2005, making this one unique. In March 1852, when James B. Scott was the principal keeper, work was being carried out at the lighthouse when tragedy struck. Some scaffolding had been erected, and Scott's 11-year-old son, who'd climbed it, fell from it and died. At the nearby Kirkmaiden Church, a lighthouse headstone marks his grave. On 8th June 1944, just 2 days after D-Day during World War II, a Bristol bullfighter crashed into the boundary wall, then into the roof of a stores building at the lighthouse before crashing into the sea. The pilot was 33-year-old Claudius Chalier, and flight engineer Royston Edwin Staniford was his passenger. It's unknown why Staniford was in the aircraft, as no flight engineer was required in the bullfighter. At the time, there was thick fog, and the 2 airmen were killed in the incident. On the evening of Saturday 23rd October 1926, the lighthouse was struck by lightning during a violent storm. Fire broke out in the oil cellar, the light room, and the engine room. As all communication with the lighthouse was down, a commissioner from the Northern Lighthouse Board set out on the Monday morning to assess the damage, although the light and foghorn were still in working order. The last lighthouse keeper of the Mull of Galloway was John M. Lamont, along with his wife and daughter, who left in August 1988. However, there's an amusing story associated with him that year. A lady in Stranraer had recently retired and had been gifted a barometer. To set it correctly, she was advised to phone the nearest lighthouse, which was the Mull of Galloway. She did this, and the keeper asked what height she was. She thought it a strange question, but replied she was 5 feet 4 inches. There was stunned silence, followed by laughter. He'd meant what height she was above sea level. In July 2013, the Northern Lighthouse Board sold the keeper's cottages, the engine room, foghorn, the nearby RSPB Centre, and 30 acres of adjacent land to the South Rhinns Community Development Trust, although kept the lighthouse. In October 1983, Gary Bailey of Inverness set out to visit the 4 extreme lighthouses on the Scottish mainland in a Volvo 760 turbo diesel car in 24 hours. He set off from Dunnet Head in Caithness on Saturday 15th October, then visited Buchan Ness, the Mull of Galloway, and finished at Ardnamurchan. It was, of course, a publicity stunt for the garage where he worked. The lighthouse is open to visitors, usually between March and October. If you enjoyed this episode of Scotland's History, please like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching.